Greetings, Gman faithful. This is your Commander-in-Chief, Gman, reporting to you for another segment of Gman Live Weekly. And this week we will have movie segment. The first movie we'll talk about is Burnt. Burnt, yeah, so Burnt was actually kind of cool. Bradley Cooper gets a chance to jump back up on the big screen, and you know what? Bradley Cooper is quickly becoming like the man. I mean, as far as movies, the dude cannot do no wrong. It's time that Hollywood mans up and hook him up. Give him the cup. All right, he deserves an Oscar. He's deserved it for years. This one's not necessarily going to get him an Oscar, but he deserves it. So Hollywood, do the right thing. You fucking annoying fucks. Give Bradley Cooper a cup or an Oscar. So, in any event, Bradley Cooper in Burnt is back reunited with his girl from American Sniper, Sienna Miller. And what happens is Bradley Cooper's like this dude who it's a second chance type movie, which I like those. I like those stories. I'm still waiting for the dude to come out with like the Mike Vick story, like the second chance option. So, in any event, Bradley Cooper goes back to the U.S. after leaving Paris because he was a cook there and he earned these two things called the Michelin Man. And apparently that's like a real big thing, to get these Michelin awards. So if you get 3, it's like, you won the fucking Super Bowl. So he gets 2 and then he loses his mind, does a lot of drugs, freaks out, heads on back to the U.S., and like cuts oysters and shit till he gets to $1 million, and then he figures, hey, what the hell do I do? I think I want to go back to Europe and try to be the great cook that I once was. He goes back, tries to gather up his crew again to get like a crew together, a sous chef and a bunch of other people to get that final elusive Michelin award. And apparently what happens is Michelin men are like these people that come in and like they're like, undercover eaters. And they come in, they order flat water, and then they leave like a fork on the floor, but they do it quietly, to see how the service is. And then they rate you, and if they rate you good, you win the cup. There you go. Michelin award number 1. So Bradley Cooper, when he gets back, he's kind of, he's in a little bit of a war with like another chef, and that dude and him don't really see eye to eye. And, they kind of get into it. And Bradley Cooper gets a chance to kind of redeem himself. And he's trying his best to come out of like a drug-induced haze from his days where he was kind of down on himself, down on his luck, all that stuff. But it does an amazing job. I mean, this movie is carried. Michael Rise is also really good as the guy he's going against, the other chef. He's great. He's the guy from The Americans. He plays the KGB agent. Great actor. Does a great job in this. Sienna Miller does another wonderful job. So he grabs Sienna Miller, who's also a chef, but he says, like, he's kind of somewhat condescending to her. He's like, all right, you're going to be my, second in command, sous chef. And so she joins his crew, and then they go to work for the place that Bradley Cooper used to work for. That's now run by this, the son. And so he's like living in the, hotel above it and just, he looks like a mess on some mornings. But, he runs into people that he used to run with, and he kind of cleans his act up, and, slowly but surely things, kind of reach their head. But it's a great movie, and it's one of those movies where you're like, you know what, this is a good story. Now, could it have been a little bit better? Yeah, and here's how. They could have showed you how, like, the food was made. They could have showed you, like, well, why did this go with that? Why did this go with that? And how come this one went with that? And he does this really cool thing where he puts this yellow stuff on top of his cake, and he's like, whew, and he blows that off, and that looks really cool. So that was like, I would like to have seen some more things like that, because I would like to have seen kind of how this stuff happens. Because there is this world out there where these, like, chefs are all, like, tight asses, and they really do. I mean, Michael Balotelli, I think, was like consulted on this film. So, there's a lot of stuff that could have actually been done to really give you a little bit more about the food presentation, how the food is made, what goes into it, and that kind of stuff. But they do a nice job instead of these little montages. They do a nice job of presenting the movie. The movie does do a good job of showing you like what Bradley Cooper goes through, and he does a great job bringing it to life. So this movie's going to get full price. This is one of those movies where you go out, you spend your hard-earned buck, and you will definitely enjoy this. So anything you want to know, that will do it for this review on Burnt. And so anything you want to know, put it in the comments below. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, click right here, somewhere here, to see more. Pow!